The more I spend time with the OBSBOT Tail 2, the more I realize how valuable it is, not only for my mobile live streaming, but for more permanent installations. I've already begun recommending this camera to some churches who need a little bit of a throw with some tracking and don't have a far distance to go. So let's look at what it takes to install the OBSBOT Tail 2 in combination with the Elgato Stream Deck for controlling in a worship service like what I have here. I'm Jason Hoffman. My goal is to help you have the confidence to just press go live. Let's do a quick Google search for the Elgato Stream Deck installation package, but I would prefer to download this. So it'll be a quick download. Looks like we're talking about almost 400 megabytes of download. We'll double click on the install package and let it guide us through the next steps of installing Stream Deck software. All right, I'm going to agree with this. Install. It's going to ask for the password for your computer. We'll put that in right quick and let it write some files. Installation was successful. Yeah, we can move that to the trash. You are welcome for downloading. And so now we have Elgato Stream Deck would like to access files in your downloads folder. No problem with that. I want it to be useful as we go through this process. Okay, let's get that back. Now this is going to live in our launch pad. So if I open up the launch pad in my menu there, it's going to be one of the most recent things. There is Elgato Stream Deck. I can open that up. It also lives in the taskbar at the top, and I can configure Stream Deck and do all of my preferences and all the things with Elgato Stream Deck. Now what I see here on the screen in this floating window is what I also see over here in the, let's see if I can make that, yeah, over here on the Stream Deck itself. So I'm going to be able to configure all these buttons and customize them how I want to, because I have the Elgato Stream Deck software loaded on my Mac, and it will control the Elgato Stream Deck. I want to go ahead and install the OBSBOT plugin for the Elgato Stream Deck, and that will make things a whole lot smoother. It will work as though it were plug and play. And so let's get that going as well. So I'm going to open up the Stream Deck software and access the store. Okay. OBSBOT webcam plugin. Okay. OBSBOT webcam plugin. There's plugins, OBSBOT webcam, and I want to get the OBSBOT webcam plugin. Does want me to sign in with my Google, so here we go. We can do that, and now we can get it. We want to allow that. Absolutely, taking you back. Yes, we do. OBSBOT webcam plugin installed. Wow, that was easy. So we opened up the Stream Deck software, we accessed the store, we searched for OBSBOT webcam plugin, we installed the plugin, and we added the plugin to Stream Deck. So let's go ahead and look at the options we have in the Elgato Stream Deck software based on what the Tail 2 will give us. Now, this actually applies to the Tail Air as well as any of the other OBSBOT webcams, and you're going to be mimicking what it would do in the OBSBOT Center software. But because we run our streams through either OBS or ProPresenter in this worship setting, then we don't want to have to flip over to the OBSBOT Center software and then come back into our presentation software in order to control it. And that's where the Stream Deck is such a valuable tool combined with the OBSBOT Tail 2. So let's look back into the Elgato Stream Deck software running on the Mac. So we've got our recording going. Now this set, adjust, and reset webcam is going to open up subfolders or sub-items from each of those. So let's start with gimbal control. So we want to be able to control the gimbal in the OBSBOT Tail 2. And honestly, I don't remember if that's in set or in adjust, but I'm going to drag the set webcam function into one of my buttons. I'm going to choose the Tail 2 because that's the one I'm working with, and then I'm going to choose select property, and look at there, I guessed it right, gimbal move is right here. So gimbal control is in set webcam. I choose the webcam and I choose that property, and now I can choose to have my gimbal move up, down, left, or right. So we'll drag one of them there. There's up. We'll put down just below it. Go ahead and choose tail 2 again. Gimbal move, and we'll choose down there. Okay, so let's take set webcam and put it here. That's going to give us something of a logical layout for up, down, left, right. Gimbal move, and then finally left. And now we'll do the same thing for right, and you'll begin to see just how our control looks on the Stream Deck for OBSBOT Tail 2. Gimbal move right. And so I can fine tune my gimbal even after I've got my presets done, and just a little bit by little bit, move my gimbal around so that I can fine tune what I'm looking at for all 4 of those. Now also, I have the option of running the presets that I set up either in the OBSBOT Center app on your computer or in the mobile app, the OBSBOT Start app on your device. Whatever presets you run there, you can also have in the Elgato Stream Deck. And I believe that is in Adjust Webcam. Can't guarantee that, but we're going to try it and see. Tail 2, select property, and I was wrong. So let's delete that one. It's as simple as right-clicking and choosing delete. So let's go back into set webcam. We'll choose that particular tail 2, and then we're going to go into preset position. There we go. It's the first one. And now I can choose one of the 3 presets that I've had for this OBSBOT Tail 2 set up in the OBSBOT Center or the OBSBOT Start app, depending on where I set it up. So I'll do each of those 3 because I have 3 presets set in each of these. Position 2, and another set webcam, tail 2, preset position, position 3. So now I have my up, down, left, right. I have my preset positions 1, 2, and 3. I also have the option of choosing AI tracking speed control. So I can run the AI features of the OBSBOT Tail 2 even inside the Stream Deck, or even running it through the Stream Deck. There are a lot of options, and even past the screen grab that I'm doing here, there's preset switching speed and roll axis as well here. But I'm looking for AI speed control, and we can tell it to increase or decrease the speed of the AI tracking. I can turn human tracking mode on or off. That's an incredibly valuable tool for somebody that's preaching. Hit that button and AI begins to track them. Hit that button and AI stops tracking them. That's a nice feature to have through the Elgato Stream Deck. So now we have our human tracking mode ability to turn on or turn off. About the pan tracking, I can do plus or minus 1. And so I can speed up or slow down the tracking as we're going back and forth across following someone. Yeah. So zoom control is going to be right here in the Adjust Webcam plugin, part of the plugin. So we'll choose zoom, and it's going to let me either plus or minus 1, 5, 10, 25, or 50. There's a lot of zoom control there. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to have a plus and a minus 1. So there's my plus 1. Let's go back to Adjust Webcam, and we'll choose zoom control again for the tail 2, and we'll do a minus 1. And that way I can zoom in or zoom out just a little bit, but of course I'm right here within arm's reach of the Stream Deck, and I can have it go one at a time, zooming in or zooming out. I can also do image control. So in the, let's see if it's in set webcam, choose the device. I can choose compensation, contrast, saturation, sharpness, hue, and brightness all from within. So brightness, and we're going to set it at a certain key. I can do the same thing with adjust. If I delete the set webcam and go back to adjust. And now I can adjust each of these. We'll do brightness, and I can do plus or minus all of those 1, 5, 10, 25, or 50. I can plus or minus the brightness or the contrast. And if your light changes throughout your worship service and you need to adjust the brightness or the contrast or the saturation, you can, even just through the Stream Deck. Tactile touch, not having to go back into another piece of software. Once you're up and running in your presentation software. There's a whole lot more that you can do within the software, because it can do all the things that the OBSBOT Center software allows you as well. And so now let's go ahead and show you how I have installed this OBSBOT Tail 2. We're running it off of PoE. The Ethernet cable that is running into the OBSBOT Tail 2 is powered, running through a PoE switch that I have my internet run through. And so I only have to have the one cable. And so now I can just simply plug my Ethernet cable in, and it keeps the battery charged, or it keeps the device powered and mounted upside down. This is simply a lag bolt with a 1/4-20 on the other end. I screw it on there, and I have an upside down mount for the OBSBOT Tail 2. This 12x hybrid zoom is just about right for the distance to which I'm going to throw this particular device, and so it works really well in this setting, my church. And now finally, I'd love to show you how this fits into our workflow. I've got my middle camera, my OBSBOT Tail 2, set up in ProPresenter. I have it running through the Stream Deck itself, and so you can see all the buttons that we've been looking at on the screen are now on the Stream Deck itself. So let's pull the camera that's aimed at that, so you can kind of see what's happening here. All right, so on my iMac, you can see the picture that I've pulled up, and I will hit the preset for preset 1, and it takes the camera back out to a full platform view there in ProPresenter. If I need to make just a minor adjustment left or right, I can do that with the buttons. Left or right, up or down. I can do that with the buttons on the Elgato. Let's see if I can get this up here so you can kind of see it as well. That might work. Okay, then I can zoom in or out a little bit. There's out. We'll zoom in just a little bit as well, one at a time. All right, AI tracking turned on, AI tracking turned off. Here's my presets. There's preset 1, preset 2, for when we just have the praise team playing, and then preset 3 for the message time. And I've got great control over what's happening up there. Okay, so now I'm going to set it on preset 2, and I'm going to go ahead and turn AI tracking on and see what happens when I walk in frame up there. So now that we have the Tail 2 set up in the ProPresenter software, let's check out the tracking as I go over to the platform. Now it's going to catch me here in the aisle. My lovely assistant is going to hit the tracking mode for me. So as I come into view, she causes it to track me. Did you go ahead and hit the button? All right, so now I see the green light has changed to blue, so it's going to be tracking me. I assume it will track me when I have my back turned to it, but I'm going to make my way up to the platform. And you can see I have the tracking speed set to lazy, but it has followed me here. The light is still blue, and so I can move across the platform however I need to, and it keeps me in a central view of what's going on. Having the Elgato Stream Deck paired with the OBSBOT Tail 2 for a worship setting takes a whole lot of shuffling back and forth between the program, and it allows me to have all of these features at my fingertips when I'm streaming a worship service.